Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever heard of a cryptocurrency that's part of a cosmic economic plan? Or how about a global financial reset that's been foretold by a so-called crypto prophet? In this explainer, we're going to get into the seriously strange and fascinating world where technology, faith, and even conspiracy theories all crash into each other in the crypto universe. Yeah, we're going way beyond the usual charts and data today. We're going to explore the modern myths and prophecies that are actually shaping how people think about the future of money. And these aren't just silly stories. They're really powerful narratives, inspiring a whole new generation of believers, all driven by this hope for a totally different future. And right at the heart of this whole phenomenon is a cryptocurrency called XRP. Now, on paper, XRP is a digital asset, right? It's designed for fast, super low-cost international payments. But for a really dedicated community, it's not just a digital asset. It's the key to a prophesied new world order. To really get the XRP prophecies, you kind of have to meet the prophets. First up, we've got Brandon Biggs, a self-proclaimed crypto prophet who says he foresaw a global financial reset. Then there's Alex Collier, who calls himself an extraterrestrial contactee and claims to have inside knowledge of a cosmic economic plan. And, fueling this whole fire is the XRP Army, a super passionate online community that hangs on their every single word. So let's look at the core of what Brandon Biggs is saying. He believes that XRP is literally destined to play this massive role in a global financial reset that's coming. It's a huge claim, and it's really important to remember this is his personal take on things, his opinion, not some proven fact. And if you thought that was a little out there, just wait till you hear Alex Collier's story. He claims he's received messages from extraterrestrials who told him that XRP is part of this grand cosmic plan for Earth's economy. And again, this is his personal account, a belief that has just completely captivated a big chunk of the XRP community. But these prophecies aren't just whispers in the dark, right? They get amplified like crazy by the XRP Army. This is a dedicated online community that digs through every market move, every company announcement, looking for hidden clues and confirmations. They're the true believers, and they've basically created this powerful echo chamber that just keeps reinforcing the narrative and keeping the faith alive. So you might be wondering, is this kind of myth-making thing unique to just XRP? Not even close. In fact, it's a pattern that we see all across the entire crypto landscape, and it all started with the original cryptocurrency itself. Let's switch gears and talk about Bitcoin, the genesis of it all. For anyone who doesn't know, Bitcoin was the very first decentralized digital currency. But the myth of Bitcoin, well, it really begins with its creator, the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto, a figure who, to this day, has never been identified. This total anonymity has fueled some pretty wild speculation, including this really popular theory that Satoshi was actually a time traveler who came back to give us Bitcoin as a kind of financial lifeboat before a huge global economic collapse. And the believers, they point to what they see as hidden messages in the original white paper and the very first block of transactions as their evidence. And this has led to the creation of a whole crypto pantheon where each coin gets its own kind of divine purpose. You've got Bitcoin as the chosen one, the digital gold. Cardano is the brain of a new economy. Ethereum is the foundation for everything. Stellar is the people's currency. And you get the idea. Each one has its own epic story and its own dedicated set of believers. So what is really going on here? Why are we so drawn to these kinds of stories? Well, it all comes down to the psychology of belief, right? It's this desire for some control in a really volatile market, and that feeling of belonging to a community that has some kind of secret knowledge. It's the huge difference between investing in a piece of tech and, well, buying into a myth. You can almost think of it like a recipe for a modern meth. Okay, step 1. Start with a really complex technology, like blockchain, that, let's be honest, most people don't fully get. Step 2, add a radical, world-changing promise, like a financial reset or a cosmic economic plan. And step 3, mix in a passionate community that will spread the gospel and basically turn it into a modern-day religion. This slide, I think, perfectly shows the two mindsets that you see all the time in the crypto space. On one side, you have the analytical investor. They focus on the tech, the data, the real-world use. They're asking, how does this work? But on the other side, you have the believer who's drawn to the prophecies and the hidden plans. They're asking, what does this all mean?
And what's really fascinating is that these two approaches can actually overlap, with even the most rational investors sometimes getting swept up in the story. But no matter how compelling the story is, eventually every piece of technology has to face the music. So let's just step back from all the myths and prophecies for a second and look at what really, truly matters, the real-world test. This chart pretty much tells the whole story. While prophecies can definitely generate buzz, and a strong community can for sure move markets in the short term, the real, long-term driver of a cryptocurrency's success, it's not the narrative, it's real-world adoption.
So what does real-world adoption actually look like? Well, it really just comes down to three key things. Does it have practical, real-world uses? Are people and businesses actually using it? And does it provide tangible, measurable value? Those are the questions that separate the long-term winners from the flashes in the pan, no matter how epic their story might be.
So, what have we learned? Well, it seems like even in our super high-tech world, we're still just wired for stories. We are still driven by that ancient human need to create myths to help us make sense of the unknown. And cryptocurrencies, with all their complexity and mystery, have become the perfect canvas for our modern-day myths. And that just leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending question. If today we're building these entire mythologies around algorithms and blockchain, what kind of incredible stories are we going to tell ourselves about the even more advanced technologies that are just around the corner? What will be the myths of tomorrow?